Welcome to 10 Minutes, everybody. So today, I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday. That's because it's early in the morning. My kids and wife are still sleeping, and I'm going to take a shower after they all get up. So that's why I have the same clothes on. This morning, it's Sunday. You may be, enjoying your Sunday. You may be worried about Monday. You may be, doing a million things. But something I wanted to touch on today is just the value of your time at work, and some different perspectives. So, and this comes from a conversation a couple days ago with a buddy. But I'm going to share different perspectives I believe in, or maybe some perspectives that I, don't necessarily align 100% with. But first of all, there's an employee perspective. There's the employer perspective or owner perspective, and then there's the manager perspective. The people who make the decisions in the middle for how much you're worth to the company. Also, from a business owner standpoint, how much someone's worth to you. How much risk or of your own money are you willing to tie up, to secure that person, to support that person, so on and so forth. So, I'll start, from, I guess, the owner perspective. So from an owner perspective, they're responsible to deal with the business as a whole, make sure that it's viable, make sure that it can handle downturns, make sure that, if they're like me and some of the other people that I know, they care very much about once they commit to providing a job, providing, a, an income for people. They're very serious about not taking that income away, laying people off, or having to let people go. So that adds a whole different dynamic of how you have to run your ship. So if you think about it like that, you got to scale appropriately. You got to add and take away people appropriately, and you got to be careful how much you pay people, because if you're trying to make your business sustain some downturn, but not get rid of headcount, you can't make your business wage heavy. Just too much money going out in payroll. But so that's kind of the owner perspective, in my opinion. And some owners, they pay what they need to pay because the people ask. Some owners pay what they want to pay because of however they value that person to their specific business. Some people pay based on research and understanding of compensation rates and where they're at, and what scale they're at. I like to kind of look at all three of those, along with the impact that person has on the rest of the team. So then from a middle management standpoint, a lot of times that is a little different because they don't have any skin in the game. They might not even think long term. They might not think about the risks of giving out lots more money. So from their perspective, they're an employee themselves. They're not a business owner. They're not an entrepreneur. They could be a leader. But they don't necessarily look at it the same way. So they're going to be very poised to get a lot of money for their people, not understand why they can't give money to their people, so on and so forth. But the other thing is you'll have some real cruel ones that'll hold that back, just to make you feel like you got to work harder or something. But it's an interesting thing, and because companies can get big enough that the decision makers are in the middle and they're not actual stakeholders in the company, you can get some weird dynamics that you got to back up and pay attention to if you're not happy with your situation or if you want to change your situation. From the individual contributor perspective, I think it's important to talk about, first of all, being honest and assessing the value you actually bring to the company. Because if you start there and you pay attention to that and you do your own research, it'll give you the confidence or the understanding to make the decisions you need to make. You should either understand that the company cares about you and is taking care of you, or not. and then you should understand where you fall with that situation. Aside from financials, aside from everything, do they provide us safety? Do they provide, you know, a good work environment? And then, do they compensate you to an acceptable level for the value you bring to the organization, but also for what you expect in your personal life? When you're an individual contributor, you can choose to do different things if you need to make different amounts of money, and you have to go out and figure that out. If you have a lifestyle you're trying to have, not dreaming about, but actually going after, you got to step back and say, well, where can I fit to add the value, to get the income, and to develop the lifestyle I want to have as an employee. But when you think about it, so I would like to be able to offer when someone shows the value. Now I've changed a little on this. I used to want to give people money, and then because I seen it in them, use that as a catalyst to get the value out, and then I believed I could sustain that value. If you don't have a really good leader, or you don't have somebody who's going to make sure we push through, after a little bit of time of the happiness of that raise wearing off, it really isn't a good model, and it's not one I use anymore. So my new strategy would be to groom and build and coach the employee to bring more value. Then it's just like falling off a log to make the decision to add more value to their life, pay them more compensation, give them whatever benefits they're looking for, because they've proven it, and they've proven it before they were given the compensation. My buddy said that, hey, you can give somebody a raise, but it probably only lasts about a month, and then they realize they're still not where they want to be. They're not happy in their situation. You know what? He's 100% right. Money is just going to be a short-term happiness. But if you aren't happy in your role, you aren't happy with what you do every day, no amount of money is going to fix your happiness. It's just going to fix maybe how you can pay your bills, or maybe your happiness outside of work. But our goal is to be happy everywhere. Happy with our job, happy where we go, happy at home. And if our goal is to be happy everywhere, I don't care if I make more money and hate my job. That's just ridiculous. And it's going to make you not the person you want to be in your personal life also. So the other strategy too is just wait for them to ask for a raise, and then give them, some type of raise when they ask. I like to stay away from my employees asking for raises. I don't always have the opportunity to avoid that, but that would be where I would like to be. Part of that's because the main driver for me to own companies and to lead people is to provide a vehicle for them to be successful in their way, in the way that they want to be successful, and to provide a good life for them and their kids, or them and their spouse, or whatever they want to do. But be a vehicle to provide a living. So I want people to be feeling like they make more than other people that do the same thing for other companies. That's my goal. And because of that, we have to hire high performers. We have to make sure we're focused. We may have to make sure we get a lot of work done, because we have to actually make sure the company can afford to provide additional value than the company next to us that does the same type of thing. The only way that comes is if the people in the company and the processes in the company create value above our competitors. That's how it has to happen to organically work and sustain. So this is a long one, 9 whole minutes. It'll probably take forever to upload from the cabin. But you guys have a good Saturday or Sunday. You guys have a good Sunday, and let me know if you have any questions about this, and then really step back if you're not happy with your life. Figure out how to get there. Figure out how to get happy.